And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Thinking it over, the things you said to me. Started with something, with nothing, now we leave. So you were with me for a while, but now you're gone. And you know, wherever you go, I'm not far behind. I'm not far behind. Starting all over. Too many times we tried, pulling us under. Our time's been swept aside. So you were with me for a while, but now you're gone. And you know, wherever you go, I'm not far behind. I'm not far behind.
What is up there, peeps? Matty Rock here. We are in the dungeon with Andrew Anderson, the Taskmaster, and special guest Gangrel. What is going on there, gentlemen?
How are you? How you doing?
We are hanging in there. I'm going to warn everybody that Andrew is highly caffeinated today, and
oh my God,
I have no control over what he's going to do.
I'm 7 cups of coffee in. I had a Red Bull, and I'm like freaking wired for sound. That they're putting an addition on my house, and all I hear is drill.
Dave. Back in the day, wasn't our excuse too much coffee?
Yeah. Too much coffee.
One, good one.
And then, or the Miami flu. The Miami flu.
Yeah, the Miami flu.
Miami flu. You would have thought Fonzie came over my house with Jeff Gardner.
Oh, all right,
Hey,
so
any
guys,
news on Jeff Gardner?
I don't know. He's off the ventilators and stuff like that. His memory's shot. He's like I hear he's like a kid one day, and then he has some memory, and then it goes. So I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to Nisi very much. So just what she sends me every other day. That's all I know.
Yeah, it's not looking good. So unfortunately, prayers out to Jeff, but Snake Master Jeff. But so Dave, how's your stem cells in your back? How'd they work out?
Stem cells are doing good. To be honest, I've been feeling a lot better this week. I was probably like 70% in the gym today, back on shoulders. I was able to do shrugs and whatnot. So I'm moving really, really good. So yeah, integrated pain management. It's got me hooked up. You guys got me moving well.
That's it, baby.
My back is it's tremendously well. It's doing so good. I thought I was gonna hang up the boots. I was 4 months ago, I was done. 4 months ago, I was just
no way. I was to do that. We got a lot to do still, buddy.
Well, I was back watching a show Kevin was on in 1991, Armageddon. Joe Goodhart, Tri-State Wrestling Alliance, I think.
Yeah.
I think Kevin wrestled Terry Funk on that one. And I was watching back. I wrestled DC Drake and Johnny Hotbody and stuff. I was the black card. And I'm going, now I know why my back hurts.
Yeah.
Those shows were wild.
That's great. Well, Brian Blair's coming in with Brunzell and Greg Gagne for stems too now.
Oh, cool. It's great. Kevin, you got to get in there.
I got to go. My shoulders have been killing me this week. Killing me. I got a gym at the house, and I worked out today, and everything is killing me. I can't wait to go and get it done. I've heard
You
such
gotta go,
great
Kev. The biggest reason you gotta go is get strong again. So, you know, so when you're with AA, you could slap around. Make sure you
Yeah.
get out of line, bro.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, you got to give him that
Right,
pimp hand. You know, it's not going to work if the rotator cuff and everything hurts. So,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those shoulders are wore out from all that brawling you did back in the day.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
well,
You're-
everybody.
You're wide open from bell to bell.
I guess the most important question I always like to ask all of the guests, Dave, when did you first meet up with these guys, with this brood, if you will?
It's true. I don't remember exactly. Kevin, I think it was Florida Championship Wrestling or was it Tri-State?
I remember meeting up with you the first time, Dave, like it was yesterday. I was living in the Bahamas
Mhm.
and I was going to work in Miami Beach. So I flew over on a Tuesday night. I walked in the bar at the Marriott, you and the other black guy, Luna. And I go in the table and I'm watching what's transpiring. And I said, brother, they're made for one another. It was you and Luna. And Luna was so instrumental to get me over. Because I don't think I would have got over like I did without her. You know, the first time I slapped her and then I was suspended for TV and I was supposed to apologize. And she was a tiny little girl then.
Yeah.
And she says, and Gordon says, well, Mr. Sullivan, I was off TV for like 2 or 3 weeks. And he said, you got to apologize to Trudy. And before I apologize, she said, no, Gordon, I want to tell Kevin something. And she said, and everybody's thinking I'm going to apologize. So she's going to read me out. She said, when you touched me, she didn't say slap. She said, when you touched me, I felt the warm feeling that I never felt before. And we were off running. She shaved half her head. I mean,
Yeah.
she was, in my mind, the best fish on there was, and that's saying something.
Yeah. Mad Dog was something. So yeah.
Yeah.
Very huge compliment. Yeah. She taught me so much. I would just sit back. She taught me what to do and what not to do.
Yeah.
Also, I have to credit her with becoming quite a street fighter as well. She got me in more fights than I can imagine.
I remember one time in Sarasota, there was an independent show, and you may remember the guy that was Tokyo Monsters manager. I think he was managing you, and there was a screw up spot with him. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting down, lacing my boots. I'm going to work with Mike Graham, and I look across at him, and this guy's on his hands and knees, scurrying like a dog, and she's kicking him and punching him. And everybody looks at me and Mike and says, hey, aren't you going to help? And we both said at the same time, we've seen this act enough. We're not going to get in there. She was something.
Yeah, she tended to really school a few managers there. Jovica, remember Victor Jovica?
Yeah.
So one time we were in the main event, I was wrestling Ray Gonzalez. Luna didn't want me to go to the ring because we hadn't been paid yet. She goes, they're gonna skip town. They're talking about that. You know, how she gets. And
Yeah.
I go, no, it's okay. Let's just go to the ring. So I get in the ring. She says, don't you dare go home until I give you a signal. And it's about 15 minutes in. And Ray's like, hey, amigo. I go, I don't know. I haven't got a signal, man. I can't go home. He goes, what are you talking about? But I was looking for Luna all over. Then I see her pop out and she gave me the little finger to go home. I went home. So time I got to the locker room, the Bushwhackers were there, Luke and them. I walk in the locker room, she's Jovica by the ball, literally pinned up on the wall going, you're not going to do a cheap bruiser Brody to me in here, you son of a bitch. I'm getting paid. You better get my money. I don't care if you got to go pawn your shoes. She was all over. And by God, he came up with the money. There was a lot of 1s and 5s, so we got paid.
That's
Good.
great.
Good.
That's great.
She was something else.
She certainly was.
It's safe to say she was one of a kind, I think.
Yeah, she was one of a kind. I mean, she was one of a kind.
I
And
remember
she
one of
was-
her prouder moments was when you complimented her. You probably don't remember this, but she debuted and she had just got the boob job or something. And she came out in ECW and you had talked to her and you said, "Yeah, I looked like a '57 Chevy, Luna." And she was so proud, Kevin. I remember
Yeah.
she was a demon after that.
I mean, she was, yeah, I hate to say that because everybody says one of a kind, but she was, and she knew how to work and eat. She was super, super. And she helped your career too. I mean, you know,
Oh,
like what you, the story you
tremendously.
just said, maybe you wouldn't have gotten the money if she didn't grab Javinka by the nuts and hold them up, right?
But Jamaica says to me, "Amigo, tell her she's doing bad business." And I go, "No, she told me not to go to the ring. I got to fly back to Tampa with her now. I'm really going to get it. So you're on your own."
Uh,
Yeah.
Hey.
She taught me a lot. She taught me there's no there's no gray area. It's black and white, you know.
Yeah.
No. I've learned I just didn't see after I was with her, I just never saw business the same. I just saw it as a business, you know. It's just a bit but
Right.
she loved it. She loved it. She loved
She
it to
sure
death.
did. She did, sure did.
So Dave, tell us about what you're doing now with MLW and CCW at the wrestling school.
Well, so Monday through Thursdays, I run a wrestling school, CCW. So I'm down there, Coastal Championship Wrestling to South Florida. So I'm mostly involved in the school itself. So I'm there. MLW, they do tapings once a month. I'm in there doing a little bit of a darker gimmick, go figure. But I couldn't really tell you the direction that's going on there. I kind of just show up and I have a match and go. I know I got dates through July, but that's about all I really know, to be honest. But it's fun. On the road every weekend. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I love and out there. And thank goodness for the stem cells. To keep doing it for a little bit longer, man. And so I'm just busy. I have a podcast called Banging the Banging. I do that. Banging the Banging with Gangrel. So I stay busy. 7 days a week, I'm in a wrestling ring somewhere doing something or something to do with wrestling.
Well, I was MLW. I was MLW this past weekend at WrestleCon after WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, it was good. There's a lot of shows going on. So I would say they had a good house on Thursday for half the show, and then it kind of lightened up a little bit because I think that Creative Pro or Create Your Narrative or whatever it's called was right next door, like literally a wall separating them. So I think some of the people jumped venues. And then Friday was good. It was good. It could have been bigger, of course, but there's so much going on WrestleMania weekend. But they were fun shows. I didn't know I could still take right-handed arm drags and whatnot from all these lucha guys. Getting a bit of a lucha lessons, but just flashbacks to when I was a kid. So I did enough of it when I was younger.
Yeah,
Are you still taking students, Dave? So if somebody wanted to reach out to you to go to the school, how do they hit you up online or how do they contact you?
They just go to Coastal Championship Wrestling right there, CCW training facility. You Google that, it'll pop up. Got a lot of interesting things happening there right now. Training a former or current bare knuckle fighter, former MMA, Paige Van Zandt. So I'm doing one-on-ones with her. Monday, I can't remember the name, but another former or current kickboxing woman's coming in. So it seems like I'm getting blessed that there's athletes rolling in there now. You know, not just guys that are and kids that are putting down their joint and their controller or whatever, their video games and rolling in going, "I want to be a pro wrestler." There's actually athletes starting to show up, and they're very coachable and very talented. So that's fun too. But I enjoy training all aspects of life, but it's really you start getting a little bit down when you start getting frustrated, feeling like you're not making headway with people. But then when a true athlete comes along, you go, "Oh, God, this is why I train people. I love this."
David, I happen to go on YouTube and watch Rock and Roman.
Mm-hmm.
Their match was like 20 years ago, a match that you would have.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, maybe they've seen the light and they're going to go back to some wrestling because they also were stiff with one another. I mean,
Yeah.
Roman gave Brock a running knee and Brock gave him a receipt right away with a clothesline.
Wow.
Amazing,
He couldn't hold on to the rope, brother. He shot off that rope. But it was no flips and flops. Not that I'm knocking that, but it went back to it would look closer to me, and probably because of Brock being in there. And the announcers talking about it, it looked almost like a UFC fight. I mean,
Yeah.
it was really, really well done. And you talk about all the shows. Dave, I heard there was 46 shows. You think that could be right at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I see people posting from different shows, and a lot of them are not the same shows. I'm like, what is going on? And
Yeah.
it was a 2-day weekend, but I think if WrestleMania would have been just Sunday, there would have been even more shows.
Yeah.
But with it being Saturday and Sunday, I think it kept it down, because I can remember that a few years ago when it was just a WrestleMania Sunday, there was like 60-something shows or more going on one time. Was it in Orlando? I think when it was in Orlando. Maybe.
It was in Orlando. That was crazy. That was a crazy weekend.
I did 6 shows myself that weekend in 2 days. I mean, I tripled up. Yeah,
I did
crazy.
And in Orlando, I did too.
Yeah. So I believe it. I don't doubt it at all.
It was crazy.
But I do hope wrestling, Kevin. I do hope wrestling comes back around, because I love a good battle with a good story behind it. And
Right.
and I truly love good versus evil. I like it. I like to clearly know who the white hat is and the black hat, and choose to cheer if I want to. I miss that, and good storytelling, good physicality, believability, and mystery. I want more mystery. I want that magic back in the business. It's all gone.
Yeah, man. And Dave, you were both of those elements, right? Because everybody who's ever going to forget you walking out of the fire? I mean, I remember, and I have ADD. I can't even remember what the fuck I had for breakfast. Who's gonna, forget you literally coming up out of the floor through the fire? People don't forget that. And you were a real physical wrestler, just like Kevin now, bringing that stuff back. And it's awesome to know that you're teaching newer generations on how to really go back to the real wrestling, as opposed to, flopping around and flying through the air, and have that real physicality, right?
Some of the newer students got a real good taste of it this past few days, because the stem cells have kicked in, and I had to sit out on the floor for 3 months nursing his back, going, something's off. And then I got in there and I just tore holy hell through them off. I think a few of them are not coming back, but it's for their own good. It's for their own good, because save their parents some money, save them some heartache. What's that, Aaron? I'm sorry.
Said you're kicking asses, taking names and seeing who's fit and who's unfit.
Yeah, I did, because I was feeling good and honorary about it too. But it was because I was disappointed in myself, because I had been out on the floor. We got 3 rings running, and I trust some of my students that I've trained already in there, but they just missed the little devils in the details. The footwork and the timing. So I went in there, and I think I was frustrated and upset with myself that I failed as a teacher. So, but I really thought holy hell and weeded out some of the weaker ones anyways, and the other ones, they toughed it through, and there was some easy adjustments, and some I'm still gonna have to work on adjusting. But I think I was more mad at myself, so it wasn't really fair for me to get all crazy on them. But at the same time, it's not an easy business. If it was easy, everybody be doing it. It should be a lot harder. I believe it should be way. I think it should be way harder to get into than it is nowadays, just to show up and get a tryout because you look good. Yeah. I don't believe. I mean, the older days, I got a little bit of it. I was brought in by Boris Malenko, and then I ended up going to Stampede. But they kind of beat on you a little bit, see if you had what you took, and you kept coming back, and then you look like you're a bit coachable, and you're able to pick up somebody that would take you under the wing. I kind of like that system, and I like learning coming up through territories, because you learn from a bunch of different styles, and they're all great in their own ways, and all these little tricks and stuff. But nobody teaches that stuff or out there giving that knowledge to. And some of the older guys still won't give it. I try to give what I learned and to help them, but I get frustrated when they don't respect it, though.
Yeah, I see how that is. Kevin keeps saying to me that I need to incorporate some of his old style into what I do in the ring, right, Kev?
Well, it ain't just my style. You're a big guy. I think you should be physical. Like, Dave, have you worked with Charlie Haas?
What early? Not the new Charlie Haas. He's super aggressive. I like the new Charlie Haas. I worked with him and his brother way back in the day.
You and him would have an incredible match.
I believe he would bring me back up to where I like to work, because I've gotten where I've been very disappointed in myself when I'm watching video and everything's on YouTube. Everything you do, somebody's posted it or it's up there somewhere, so you can't get it back. And then I see what I'm holding back. I'm being nice, and I'm going, what's the point of it anyways? Let me just do this and get rid of it. And I'm gonna tell you, that attitude's changed. It's changed this past week. They're coming back
Good.
there, and I'm going like,
Good.
when yeah. No, I'm ready to raise hell, and I'm feeling good. Maybe secretly, maybe I was doubting my back a little bit if I could still skirmish if I had to, but feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good, Kevin. You got to get in there and get that stem cell.
Dave, that's what I'm gonna say. That you're paying more attention because you're not in pain. And you know when you were in such pain, I couldn't understand how you could walk to the ring, never mind perform. When you're in pain, it's a constant thing on your head. It takes away the quality of your life. And then you're going to work, and when you're working the style you do, you're saying, oh, in the back of your head, you're saying, okay, I'm going to cut that out tonight. I'm going to cut, and you go ahead and do it anyway, and you get hurt worse. So I'm glad to hear the stem cells are really working for you.
Well,
They are.
it happened with me when I was heavier a year and a half ago. When I was a lot heavier, I was lumbering. I was slow. I couldn't do things. I couldn't move. I wasn't getting winded because my cardio was there, but it was like
Hey, I'm going to cut you off, Matty.
Yeah, baby.
When you're 420 pounds, you lumber.
Yeah,
Huh?
Kev, I have to hear.
I was gonna put Biv overalls on to call him Haystack Calhoun Jr.
yeah. Okay, fuck you.
Great. After Andrew, look, you offended him so much he dropped off. Holy shit.
Oh,
Or he went to get a giant turkey. Like, I don't know which of the two it is.
Caffeine.
yeah, he's caffeining up. That's what he's doing.
Now I got to deal with him, Kev. He lives too close to me. So after this ends, he's going to come up and go yell at me. Thanks, Kev. Got to deal with this shit now. So Dave, we discussed if for the school that they come hit you online for the wrestling school. How about bookings and stuff? Is your preference people coming to you directly? Is there management you go through? What do you look for that, Dave?
I don't think anybody calls anybody anymore. It's so weird. I think all my bookings come in on my Facebook, Gangrel David Heath. So they come in on that, or sometimes Instagram. I don't think I've taken an actual phone call other than Kevin or Andrew. Nobody calls anymore. They want to text or something, but most of them come in on Facebook. Gangrel David Heath on Facebook there.
All right. So I just want to make sure anyone who's looking to get Dave Gangrel for bookings, you just heard that. So you'll be able to reach out to him there. Andrew's coming back from his technical difficulties. According to Kevin, he got mad and he went to the giant turkey.
What I'll tell you what. Since Andrew,
where'd you go there, buddy?
Telling you, just I said one. I was like "F you" to Kevin. All of a sudden, my video went whap because somebody keeps calling in on my thing. I think people. I tell them I'm having a podcast. They keep calling, and I keep pressing. End call, and I pressed the wrong one. I ended this stream.
I've never seen a 900 number do reverse calls, man. How much business you do with that? Weird, bro. Pew!
It's probably calling me from his backbone just to fuck me up.
Hey, Kevin knows a lot about throwing them bones, working with Tyree all through those years and stuff like that.
Brother, those cops in Miami, all the ones that got busted, right?
Oh yeah, Miami River,
Yeah, one of them, one night, they were brutal to the people. They were brutal. So one night I'm going out and I was wrestling Tyree. And they said, stir up the Haitians. I'm saying, what? And with Tyree, you had to be careful because they'd be climbing the ring. So I get heat on Tyree. And next thing I know, the match is over. I'm back and they're dragging this guy on the floor with handcuffs. He's handcuffed in the back. And they say to Jeff, give us that big snake. They threw the snake in the guy. He shit and pissed at the same time. He was trying to back up. That was the first time I saw the worm. He was backing up on his belly. Oh, they were brutal. Those cops are brutal.
Yeah. I've run into a few of them. I met him through Jeff.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody met him through Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Tyree, though. Tyree was a character. Ever tell you the time he tried to stab me, Kevin?
No.
Oh my goodness! It was on the native reservation, the Miccosukee. I was banned from the Miccosukee for life, but they've kind of forgotten about it. some of the young kids that came trained at my school remember the story. They go, "Hey, did you get arrested at the Miccosukee?" I was working Tyree, you know, and I worked him all the way back to the days from in the Miami Convention Center, you know, and
Right.
I would take his back then. He would do the superplex standing on the top rope, so both of you are on top. He was doing that way before these young kids are doing it now.
Yeah.
And so I've always worked Tyree. I was with him. Then I went on. I went to Calgary, Japan, and Puerto Rico, Memphis, whatnot. I come back and we're gonna work Tyree again, and you know he's got those clown spots. He wants to hold your nose, hit it,
Yeah.
you'll kick you, and do all that. You know, and you can run thin on patience with that, but I did them all. And then when I went to put heat on, he just quit no selling. You know, he just wouldn't sell. He just jumped up. And so I gave him a one kick, and he cussed at me. He's never cussed at me. He says, "You do that again, you MFer, I'm gonna kick your ass." He said, right? So I kicked him again.
Wrong guy to say that, though.
So to his credit, I've never been hit so fast. You know, he popped up and he went boom, 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 and we wrapped off a few punches. And I said, "Is that all you got?" He just looked at me and he ran out of the ring. And at this point, I was livid because he ran. I was like, "You little son of a!" I was raging. So I go, the guy that rang the bell was this other guy called Q. I don't know what he had to do in the show. He's this big black dude. But because he rang the bell and he's coming for Tyree, he was in my locker room. So I grabbed his bag and I threw his bag out into the crowd, the reservation crowd, all the natives there. So they're plundering all through this guy's stuff. Mayhem's going on. I go to wash my face because you remember Rusty Brooks, Kevin? Remember
Yeah,
Rusty?
sure. Yeah.
So Rusty's like, "You all right?" I said, "Yeah, man. I'm gonna beat Tyree's ass." He goes, "No, man. Go wash your face and cool off." So I went to the back because Tyree's in another locker room, and I hear him holler my name. He thought Tyree came in with his gun. You know, Tyree used to carry the gun. You know, and because he had a white towel wrapped up. So I hear Rusty holler my name. I look up in the mirror, and there was Tyree coming to stab me with the shank, a file down screwdriver. And I turned around and I beat him so bad. I beat him down. The reservation police came in, which I didn't know were federal marshals. I didn't comprehend that, but I literally got put in the handcuffs and everything. They put me in the handcuffs behind my back. Well, Tyree jumps up off the bathroom floor and charges me again, and I catch him with a kick, and I just start curb stomping him into the ground. I just kicking him. But when I did that, the police, they all fell down too. They fell and slid through all the urine and stuff on the floor. So they were hot. But now at this point, they arrested Tyree. And we're both sitting in a little chicken wire cell. This is before Miccosukee had all the money and the big dome and all that. It was back when there was the little gym back there, the jail.
Yeah, I remember I was there.
Chicken wire. And they come in and they ask me if I want to press charges. I go, "No, I want to just go home, get paid, and go home." And they go, "All right, Tyree, you can leave." They let Tyree out of there. They held me to the next morning for assault on federal marshals, inciting a riot because there's another wrestler that came out with a cowbell. He's a cowboy. He came out. The natives were all rioting. They jumped the cowboy, J.R. James, and took his cowbell and opened him up, gave him stitches, beat him up. Yeah. And Luna, I had to go back to Luna. Luna's like, "Where were you all night?" I said, "I was in jail." Tyree tried to say, "Tyree wouldn't do that to you. He wouldn't do that." I said, and I had to take an ass lashing from her for hours until she came home off the road. People verified the story. She goes, "I can't believe Tyree did that to you." But I swear he put voodoo on me, Kevin. Man, I had injuries after injuries for a year and a half until I made peace with him.
Yeah. He drew all kinds of money in South Florida and in the Bahamas. He was king.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you a quick story. No heel ever went over in the Bahamas, right? So Tyree and I had a series of matches where I was counted out. We had a double count up. So Charlie Majors, the promoter, came up with an idea. Me and Tyree in a cage. So they come to me and Mark, and they said, "We got a great house here tonight, the best we've had." And it was because of Tyree. And they said, "We want to continue this." I said, "How are you going to continue a cage match?" They come with this rope with a noose on it. They say, "We want you to put the noose on Tyree and throw him over the cage, and you and Mark hang him." I said, "What?" He said, "We want you to hang him." I said, "Charlie, how am I going to get back to the dressing room?" He said, "I'll have all the cops there and I will protect you." I said, okay. So as I step out of the ring, you remember the metal guardrail they had around the
Mhm.
ring? I put my foot on it and I see the sea of people coming at me.
Yeah.
I grab a chair and put it over my head, but I grab Charlie and pick him up too. They beat him to death. When I came back to the dressing room, I dropped him. He was unconscious, bleeding all over. His little kid, the midget came in, the
Yeah, the
little
little
person, and he says to me, "Oh, my dad, my dad." And I turned around and slapped him. I said, "Your dad, he just about killed me." And I went over. I was so mad I kicked Charlie. But Tyree drew nothing but money in those
The
hours.
amount of joy you had in that right now, Kevin, was
Yeah.
fantastic. He was almost dead. Like, yeah, yeah,
But you,
get him.
you're reminding me of a funny story because Charlie Majors, but then the little fella, right?
Yeah.
So Luda's like, I gotta get some shit. We're in the Bahamas. She goes, you guys, like, she was doing something and she was in the bathroom. And we'd already been up for days, you know. So a lot like Andrew. We're looking a lot like Andrew was looking earlier. So hopping around, moving all over. And the door would knock and I would look out the little people and Luna go, who's there? I go, there's nobody there, there's nobody there. Knock again, and I would look. Every time I looked, I couldn't see anything. Finally, she goes, "It's open the door." It's a little. You couldn't see him. It's a little guy. He's a short guy. He's just sitting there. Hey, I got his stuff for you. The Bahamas, man, crazy times. But that's a strong angle to do with Tyree in the Bahamas. You're lucky you got out there alive.
I am. I
Hey,
saw
Still
one
around?
time.
Does Tyree still work at all, or is he around doing
No.
stuff?
His son works, I think, Tyree Jr. He's still over at Frost Roof or somewhere in Central Florida.
Yeah.
Wow, it would be great to see him again. I mean, I haven't seen him in years.
One, I'll tell you another thing about how tough Ming is. Ming had a match, and I forget who he was with, but he brutalized the guy in the match. I mean, his working style. And he was as Dave knows, this was a rink like building, had no top. And they put broken bottles on top inside the cement, jagged bottle tops. The fans would sit on those glass, and they would sit on the roof of our dressing room. One night after Ming worked that match, he's coming back. They threw a cinder block, hit him in the head. He only went down to one knee and shook it off. Back. He didn't think about nothing. I said, "Oh, gee, this."
I love how much
cemented
Kevin enjoys the brutality. He's like, yeah.
He
Yeah,
does.
but he cemented his legend.
Blassie.
What?
I said, you're a modern day Fred Blassie, the way you crack
Oh.
up at Carnage.
Oh, he was.
I
Ming
like
was-
carnage.
And in those days, Ming was in incredible shape. He could vertical leap like Brock does to the ring. He would do that. He was an incredible athlete.
Now, didn't he train sumo?
No, he went to, he was a sumo. I've seen pictures when he had his hair done when he became the sumo. That's a big ceremony when they give you the hair, wrap your hair up and give you the robe. I've seen pictures, and Bob was over there at the same time. So Bob and
Yeah, I
him,
remember.
I believe that they were the first two non-Japanese recruited for sumo. They went to Tonga and got them. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just got to take a quick break so we could hear from our sponsors. We'll be back in a little bit. Hey, folks, welcome back to In the Dungeon with our special guest, Gangrel. Pick up where we left off there, fellas. I think a big thing is what's on everybody's calendar and schedule for upcoming events, guys.
Well, Kevin and I have, and Dave, we all have Wrestle Daytona. Dave's doing an appearance there. Might be wrestling, we don't know yet. And myself and Kevin managing me that's on the April 24th. It's Sunday. I'm scheduled to wrestle Jerry Sags with Brian Knobs in his corner. So things are going to get kind of nasty, but you never know what can happen. There could be a vampire getting in the ring.
No, I know I'm definitely scheduled to wrestle, but I don't know against who. Could be. Yeah, I'm definitely honored to wrestle. Though. I know that. I know that. So yeah, and I'm going to do that
Okay,
Ohio gig this
so
weekend. I'm in Ohio this weekend. When you guys did
April 9th,
Light,
yeah, yep,
lightning
big
strikes
time run,
twice. Yeah, and then Charleston,
yep,
South Carolina
yep.
Sunday.
Good for you, Dave.
Yeah, no,
That
I'm
April
blessed. I
9th,
get to wrestle every weekend. I'm grateful, blessed. I still love this crap. I still love it.
We all do, I think.
yeah, we
Yeah.
all still do. Sometimes you feel like it doesn't love you back, but and you literally it didn't love your back, but now the stem cells love you back, so the stem cells fix you.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm doing. Yeah, I'm a lot happier. Like Kevin said earlier, he nailed it. When you're in pain, you're just really not yourself. You're not thinking. Yeah, your work goes down because
Well,
you're not trusting what you could do safely to people and whatnot. You just start eliminating your whole your arsenal.
Well,
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
it was,
Now, did you break down and have any inflammatories?
I didn't hear you, Andrew. You broke up.
Did you break down and have anti-inflammatories? Because I did.
I did a weekend because I had to go
Me
to
too.
MLW, go to Dallas. It wasn't because my back was hurting; it's because of my knees. As you know, you saw that I had that little possible other tear of the meniscus in my good knee.
Mhm.
I have no PCL, no ACL in my right knee, and it's bone on bone and it's bow-legged. But so off the anti-inflammatories, if I didn't have shows and I would sit home, I could have rode the 2 weeks out. But I broke down this time. The first time I stayed true to the plan and much success. This time I made it a week and I had to take them because I had to get out on the road and in Dallas, all that walking and whatnot. I had to have my knees working. So yeah.
And I had a double shot literally a weekend after we got the shots put in. So I had no choice. I had to wrestle Buffalo and in Nyack, New York, West Nyack, New York. So I had to run in. When that show was over, Kevin was with me. I took some ambumatones because I had to. The inflammation was just killing me. But everything seems great. My bicep feels great.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
That
my
tore
shoulder
up,
feels
not able
great.
to
So
tear that.
yeah, it was nasty, man. They didn't know if they were going to do the shot because the inflammation was filled with blood, but it worked.
Good.
So I have 2.5 weeks, so I guess now. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, I keep telling Kev, you think my arms are going to shrink? He goes, nah. Kev,
I just got to tell you, Drew. I just got to tell you, Drew, your screen froze. And I think for the other three of us, it was the most horrifying picture that we probably had ever seen. Kevin cried a little bit. I saw it, Kev.
yeah, I did. A tear ran down.
Dude, you got to use that for a promo. You got to use that for a promo, Drew. It was fucking terrifying. Like, yeah, babies would have cried on that one. You just got to, and you were stuck there. I was a little scared.
So am I frozen again?
No, you're good.
All right. So yeah, so Kevin keeps telling me my biceps are not going to shrink.
No. I would like to personally thank
Because
the other two gentlemen on the podcast. Thank you very much, Dave. It's great to have you.
It's
gonna be
always great to
see
talk to you, sir. I've learned so much from you. I'm so humbled and honored to call you a friend and still be associated with you in this industry, in this business. I've learned so much from you. Everything you've ever told me, I've kept. What I got it in here. I don't remember what I've had for breakfast, but I remember all the advice you've given me through the years. Angles all the way back to when you'd say, well, the black card, some little piece comes off, another piece comes off, then the black, as you're in a love triangle. All of it. I still hold it for the right moments.
Right back at you, Dave. You've taught me a lot too.
No, sir. Thank you for everything.
and
Thanks so
Dave,
much for coming on today, Dave. We appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thanks for having me on. I'll have to try one of your cigars one day.
Absolutely. I got you covered, man. I'll have some stuff to give to Drew, so I'll bring it out to you, my brother.
Tremendous. Greatly appreciate it.
You got it, man. So we'll make sure you're stocked up. If memory serves me, last time what you dug were those naturals that when we were with Snitsky. So I gave you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
yes.
I'll make sure I bring you a bunch of those, so you got some of those to smoke.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
You got it, my brother. All right, then, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to our peeps, Monty and the Pharaoh. Much love and appreciation. And we will see everybody next week. Much love. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, guys.